Have you ever stopped to think about why time seems to fly by the older you get? Remember as a child how the summer holidays seemed to last forever, yet now, as an adult, an entire year passes in what feels like the blink of an eye. What's going on here? Is time literally speeding up as you grow older? Or could it be something entirely different? Today, we're going to uncover the fascinating science behind the perception of time and why it feels like the hands on the clock move faster as we age. First, let's start with the basics. To truly grasp this phenomenon, we need to understand how our brains process time. Time itself doesn't change. Seconds, minutes, and hours remain constant. It's our perception of time that shifts. This perception is shaped by how our brain encodes and recalls experiences. When we are young, our brains receive a torrent of novel information. New places, faces, experiences, and learning flood our neural pathways, making time feel elongated. It's kind of like your brain is a sponge during childhood. It soaks up every drop of newness, and the more you experience, the fuller your mental diary becomes. This creates what psychologists call the time expansion effect. Neurologically speaking, this has a lot to do with the activity in your hippocampus, which is part of your brain that plays a major role in forming memories. When you experience something totally new, the hippocampus works overtime, creating fresh mental markers or vivid memories. This building of rich, new narratives stretches your sense of time. Think back to big life milestones like your first day of school, learning how to ride a bike, or going on your first vacation. These moments feel so significant because they are some of the firsts your brain logged into its memory archive. Now flash forward to adulthood. How much of your routine stays the same? Wake up, check your phone, commute, work, eat, and sleep, day in and day out. With so much of your time filled with repetitive tasks, your brain no longer needs to fully process or remember these moments in detail. Without the novelty to mark time, it feels like it's speeding up. Essentially, our adult years can feel like a monotonous blur because fewer new memories are being formed. Another major factor is something called the proportional theory. It's a simple yet mind-blowing concept. When you're 5 years old, 1 year represents 20% of your life. That's a huge chunk. But when you hit 50, a single year is only 2% of your lifetime. Because a year becomes a smaller proportion of your total life experience, it psychologically feels shorter. This happens subconsciously, and yet it has a profound impact on our perception of time. Let's also unpack the role of stress and responsibilities on your time perception. As adults, most of us juggle work obligations, family responsibilities, financial concerns, and social commitments. Because of this, our cognitive resources are often tied up, leaving less mental space to savor the passage of time. In contrast, children are often free from these burdens and live more in the moment, fully immersing themselves in play, exploration, and wonder, thus making time feel slower for them. Sleep also plays a significant role in how we perceive time. Studies show that inadequate or poor quality sleep can influence how fast we feel time moving during the day. Your inner biological clock, known as the circadian rhythm, keeps you aligned with real-world time. When your body clock is out of sync, say from months or years of subpar sleep schedules, time itself can feel completely out of sync as well. You wake up, blink, and suddenly it's time to go to bed again. Now let's get a little philosophical with it. Have you ever considered how technology might be altering your relationship with time? Social media, constant notifications, binge-watchable TV series, they consume our attention in unprecedented ways. When we're glued to screens, hours can vanish in a flash. This fragmented attention may make time feel more elusive and fleeting than ever before. The irony is, while we imagine we're spending just a little time scrolling through our feeds, entire afternoons are swept away. Interestingly, culture and upbringing also play a role in time perception. In societies where life is more fast-paced, think urban centers with high demands on productivity, people often feel pressured to make the most of every minute, making time feel more constricted. Contrast this with slower-paced communities or rural settings where traditions allow for present-focused living. In such settings, time perception can feel more expansive and calmer. Now, what can you do about this? How do we slow the speeding clock? The good news is that it's not impossible. There are practical steps you can take to regain control over your perception of time. One strategy is to intentionally seek out novelty. Add variety to your days. Take a different route to work, pick up a new hobby, meet new people, or visit places you've never been before. The more new experiences you allow into your life, the slower time will feel because your brain starts encoding fresh and unique memories again. Another useful tip is mindfulness. It may sound cliched, but tuning into the present moment lets you fully inhabit your life without letting it breeze by. Simple practices like deep breathing, yoga, or just appreciating your surroundings during a walk can make a notable difference in slowing down your internal clock. Journaling can also be surprisingly impactful. By documenting your thoughts, feelings, and daily highlights, you create a reference point, an archive of memories. When you look back on your experiences, it can stretch your perception of time and make the passage of days, weeks, or months feel fuller and richer. Finally, consider maintaining a healthy sleep routine. Restorative sleep allows your brain to integrate experiences and memories effectively, helping you feel more grounded in time instead of rushed by it. Let's circle back. The truth is, time itself isn't changing. Perception is. It's shaped by our experiences, habits, cultural contexts, and even biological factors like aging. So, while we can't slow down the clocks physically, we can slow them down mentally. Imagine reclaiming the magic of those endless childhood summers, where each day felt like its own universe. You now hold the tools to reframe your perception and savor the moments that matter most. Whether it's through mindfulness, exploration, or simply appreciating the here and now, you have the power to make the most of your time. After all, it's not about the amount of time you have. It's about how deeply you feel it. And there you have it. The mystery of why time feels like it's speeding up as we grow older has been unraveled. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the science and psychology of time perception, be sure to like, share, and subscribe to our channel, Why Facts, for more fascinating episodes just like this. See you next time.